I've got to tell you, I'm thrilled to be the last speaker on a day after you've traveled from far away, changed time zones, and met 530 or so of your new Rotary peers. The assignment given me this afternoon is to explore the very deep and philosophical concept of living beyond yourself. To help do that, I have compiled and brought with me several pie charts, graphs, a long list of details that could help me indeed teach you how Rotary helps you live beyond yourself. Seriously, this week, as you continue in workshops and idea exchanges and general sessions and meal discussions and hallway chats, you're going to gain a broader perspective of the power and the potential of Rotary and the incredible opportunity and responsibility you now have as Rotary regional leaders. You know, all of Rotary's surveys over the past several years have verified Rotary's uniqueness is found in the relationships, those vocational, social, and personal connections between our members, and the satisfying and significant service endeavors we address. Truly, Rotary does help you live beyond yourself. You know, I've been blessed to see and experience this Rotary story throughout my adult life. And I'd like to take a few minutes today to share some of those experiences with you. I'm always impressed with our impact on youth. Interact, for example, our global program for middle and secondary school students that help convey Rotary's values of fellowship, community service, and integrity. Learn more about Interact, and you'll hear stories such as this.
Hi, I'm Bob Carroll. I was born the same day my mother was diagnosed with tuberculosis. She was sent to a sanitarium for a year of isolation. I was cared for by my grandparents, who provided me with stability and unconditional love. Mom returned from the sanitarium an alcoholic.
My name is Cassie Howder, and I was born into an abusive, drug and alcohol-affected, broken home. My brother, sister, and I were saved by my grandparents when we were young.
As an 8-year-old, I would look for the hidden whiskey and pour the contents down the drain. I would also hide the car keys so Mom couldn't drive the younger children while drunk.
Grandpa died when I was 12. Grandma has raised me, and I love her more than anything.
Dad was busy and not terribly engaged in family life. Mom died at age 41, and my grandparents moved out. High school was difficult because of the issues at home. I remember looking for some adult I could talk to try to make some sense of life. I never found that person.
I entered into the first year of high school having no idea what I was up against or how unequipped I was for the challenges. I hated drugs. I hated alcohol. But still, I attended parties where the guys I met were the first to make me feel special, beautiful, and accepted into a plastic life, a life that none of us wanted. So why did I do everything I was against? What was wrong with me? What was wrong with my friends and family? Why were we doing the things that our parents did? All I heard were negative voices. And at the end of the day, I would go home, sit in my room, alone, and cry.
As I grew older, I decided that if the opportunity to help mentor high school students ever presented itself, I'd be there. I was asked to visit Mary Walker High School in Springdale, Washington. They expressed an interest in starting an Interact Club, a club of friendship and service, Rotary values. I got involved, and I found students just like me. Issues of substance abuse dominated their families. Our Interact Club is in its 8th year, and I continue to serve as Rotarian advisor. Rotarians play an important role in an Interact Club, but strong leadership from the students is what drives the success. Recently, that leader has been Cassie Howder.
But something happened to me. Through Interact, I met a Rotarian named Bob Carroll. Bob took an interest in my success and in my life. I stopped trying to get noticed for my looks and started being who I truly was. Bob shared his knowledge and gained my respect, just as every other Rotarian I have met over the years has done. My understanding is that Rotarians work hard at bettering the world around them, a lifestyle I never understood before.
My Rotary purpose is Interact.
Interact is where Rotary changes lives.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bob and Cassie. Your story inspires us all every time we hear it. And Interact, you know, is one of the fastest growing areas within Rotary today. I'm sure you're all aware of Youth Exchange, Rotary's time-tested program that gives the next generation a broader view of the world. Yes, even today, with digital communications connecting us almost everywhere, there is nothing that can improve one's perspective of the world like actually living in another culture.
Guten Tag, ich heiße Maya und komme aus Deutschland. I was adopted from a village in Vietnam by my wonderful German family when I was only 3 weeks old. I may not look it, but I'm German. At the first youth exchange meeting in Germany, a Rotarian asked me if I was an inbound student. LOL, I'm German. The day I got on the plane coming to the USA, I was filled with uncertainty. I was going to be away from my friends and family for a whole year. Every day in California, I wake up and think I have to push myself. For instance, I became a cross-country runner, a really slow one, but with effort, I improved. Next, I love to play the cello, but I was afraid of the required audition. I survived it and I got into the Miracosta High School Orchestra. And one of my biggest fears is water. So what did I do? I tried out for the girls' water polo team. And I made the team. Youth exchange is often thought of as a way to experience another culture and to get an idea of what to do with one's future. Actually, it does more. It gets you another perspective on life. It makes you more self-confident, more mature, and it helps to conquer your fears. These qualities are essential for anyone who wants to make a difference in this world. And I do.
Me too. My story is similar to yours. And probably like every exchange student coming here, I was afraid. I was afraid that I would make mistakes. I was afraid that people wouldn't take me for who I am. I was afraid I wouldn't be understood. I'm Emmanuel Sunday. I was born in the southern part of Nigeria. At the age of 4, I moved to the north to stay with my aunt to get a better education. Several years later, due to Boko Haram's reign of terror, I had to move to my uncle's house in Lagos State, where I continued my high school. My aunt, a Rotarian, suggested that I apply to become a Rotary exchange student. Becoming an exchange student in my country is a privilege. And so, I was thrilled to be chosen from over 300 students. Understand that I come from a country where foreigners have been discriminated against. And I thought the same fate will await me. But I was wrong. People here are loving. Respect is shown to everyone in the schools. My host parents treat me the same way they treat their own children. I've always thought of just my culture and not really look beyond that. But now I see a culture that actually makes more sense. A culture that gives freedom to communicate openly with others. Freedom to express your feelings, which I think are the root to building confidence and respect towards everyone. And in a very important way, these are very good steps to building peace and understanding between people with different opinions. You can all make this happen. You can invest into the future. Please expand this amazing youth program in your district next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Maja and Emmanuel. Rotary Youth Exchange is one of our oldest global programs, and we can be proud of the many leaders in business, government, and education who are alumni of our great program. You know, Rotarians always take pride in serving their local communities. You will be amazed as you learn more about the activities of the clubs in your district. And I suspect you may want to expand one club's passionate program to multiple clubs because they have such a huge impact on lives.
Thank you, John. I agree. Rotary community projects change lives in so many ways. My name is Greg Giussiano. I'm a retired police chief and the past president of the Rotary Club of Gilroy, California. When one of our members was diagnosed with leukemia, our club became active in Project Share Life. We went out in the community to sign up people on the National Bone Marrow Registry. At community events everywhere, members signed up potential donors. As a result of their efforts, thousands of names have been added to the registry. And each one of those people has the potential to give someone a new life. That's how I got on the registry. I was attending a professional baseball game where members from my Rotary Club were doing a donor drive. My wife and I signed up. It only took a few minutes, and we forgot all about it. Until a couple of years later, when I got a phone call from the Red Cross.
My family and I were thrilled with the news. A matched bone marrow donor had been identified. This person didn't know me, but was willing to give me a chance for a new life. I'm Sarah Moss, and I was diagnosed with leukemia 10 days after my honeymoon. A bone marrow transplant was my only chance for a cure, and without a matched donor, I would die. But as the leukemia grew in my body, I knew that through the dedicated work of the National Marrow Donor Program and tireless efforts of volunteers like Rotarians through Project Share Life, that I could beat this cancer. One Wednesday afternoon, my doctor told me, "Sarah, we found your perfect match." A man I'd never met was giving me the greatest gift anyone could give, hope. Hope for a new life as a newlywed, now married 16 years. And today that hope and that life extends to our 10-year-old daughter, Erica, and 5-year-old son, Zach.
Through my involvement in one of my club's activities, Project Share Life, I got the chance to save a life. You will have the opportunity to share programs such as these with others in your district and maybe to an even broader audience. Be an opportunity broker and change lives.
Thank you, Greg and Sarah. Almost all of Rotary's global programs begin with a very passionate local flavor to them. You know, one thing I've always seen is the more you expose Rotarians to very real community challenges anywhere in the world, the more dedicated they will be to find a solution. Often, that is a life-changing experience.
That's right, John. Hi, I'm Brad Howard. In 1987-88, when I was president of the Rotary Club of Oakland Sunrise, we raised $25,000 to eradicate polio. I thought my job was done and my involvement with polio was over. I was wrong. In 1998, our district governor wanted to take a group of Rotarians from our district to Ghana, West Africa, to participate in a polio immunization day, and he came to me as a professional tour operator to help organize the trip. 68 of us made the journey. Polio eradication drew me into Rotary, and it changed my life. I've now participated in 24 polio eradication campaigns. But more than that, it helped me to leave the comfort of my weekly Rotary meetings, to go to places that I never would have gone to, and to do things I never could have imagined. I learned what it was like to change someone's future by putting those 2 drops into the mouth of a child, knowing that they'd never get polio. My involvement with polio eradication has given me some of my richest life experiences, the most profound of which is when my wife, my 12-year-old son, and my 7-year-old daughter, Blair, joined me in Ghana. How many 7-year-olds even know what polio is? But if you ask my daughter, she'd say, cured it.
This picture is of me when I traveled with my family and Rotary to Ghana to immunize children for polio. Not many of my friends know much about polio, but I know that I have been a part of getting rid of it. Rotary's taught me a lot. Through Interact, I learned to care for my community, like the adoptive family program we held during the holidays, where we provided gifts for families in need. My youth exchange to Switzerland and my trip to Ghana taught me that the world is small, and I have a role to play in it. You see, when I think of people from other countries, I don't see foreigners. I see the faces and names of people I know, people I call brother and sister, aunt and uncle. I think of the world as my community. The young people in your communities look to Rotary and its members and you as their leaders to support the programs that will help shape our future and the future of our world. My generation wants to make a difference. As incoming Rotary leaders, You can encourage your clubs to use tools such as Interact, Rotaract, Youth Exchange, RILA, Rotary Scholarships, and the Peace Fellows Program to raise a new generation of humanitarians who dream of a world full of possibilities.
Thank you, Brad and Blair. You've just heard from a family of Rotary. That phrase, family of Rotary, also describes our partners in service, in fellowship, and in sharing the joy of Rotary. Partners like Rotaract.
Wow, John, the joy of Rotary. That surely describes my life. I am Elsa Soto Garcia from Mexicali, Mexico. I have been preparing to be a Rotarian all my life. It started when I was 5 years old, when my parents, members of the Rotary Club of Mexicali Industrial, took my brother and me to every club's event, where I referred to members as uncle. When I was 16, I was selected to be the club's home queen and represented Rotary during projects and community events. What fun! Wearing a crown at fancy galas by night and donating medical supplies at nursing homes in the middle of the desert by day. That same year, my brother left for Germany on a Rotary youth exchange. At home, my parents and I hosted a German boy and 2 French girls. I could hardly wait for my turn, and I got it. I went to France. I was falling in love with Rotary. When I returned to Mexico, I joined the Rotaract Club of Mexicali Industrial while continuing my education and work as a French teacher because of Rotary. You see, Rotaract is Rotary for those still not fully into their careers. My university education took me to Austria, and I, of course, joined the Rotaract Club of Linz. Rotary was beginning to define my professional life. When I returned with my original club, we produced a huge fashion show called Au revoir, Polio. Thank you. To raise funds for Polio Plus. The last stop of my education was at San Diego State University. And yes, with much help, I started the first Rotaract club in that area. Last year, I took the position as the International Business Developer at Imperial Valley Economic Development Corporation in California. And I, of course, immediately joined a Rotary club, the E-Club of Hawaii. You see, Rotaract is a perfect Rotary partner. Rotaractors enjoy the fun of friendship and service. Support the Rotaract clubs in your area. Include them or help charter more of them. Rotaract changes the future for people around the world, like me, and for you. The next generation of your club might just be at a Rotaract club near you.
Thank you, Elsa. Coming soon to a Rotary Club near you, a Rotaractor. Thank you so much, Elsa. Well, there you have it. Samples of Rotary's not-so-secret formula for living beyond yourself. It's working with youth to help imprint the next generations with our concepts of building strong relationships, investing in leadership, and serving our communities. It's the significant projects and programs that we leverage from the ideas and the activities of local clubs and Rotarians into worldwide movements and multiple clubs. Finally, it's being involved with projects, not only with Rotarians, but with partners in a larger scale, including the family of Rotary, like Rotaract. These are all messages that I hope guide your leadership from this day forward. You see, for Rotary to have the ability to thrive in your district next year, it could come down to one person: you. You have the ability to influence and the opportunity to influence what Rotary is and what it does. And if you don't, it just might not happen. I'll never forget the words of a speaker at the International Convention just prior to my term as district governor. That speaker was Robert Fulghum, an American author who is famous for the book, All I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Mr. Fulghum told thousands of Rotarians on that day that the world, our own society, is filled with spectators, with passengers, with the narrow, the self-interested, the indulged. But this hall and this organization is filled with people who have put muscle and blood and life itself against the wheel of human endeavor to push us out of the mud that we get stuck in. And in the process of doing that, know how to laugh and sing. This is Rotary, a simple little club, a grand, sophisticated movement. This Rotary that allows us to live beyond ourselves. Thank you.